3D printer laser cutter combo. Here's the laser cutter, here's the 3D printer stack. You can either 3D print your equipment here, and we've got some interesting carbon-based filament. You can activate the laser. You got a piece of wood, you got a piece of already printed plastic, you put it here, you clamp it, you switch between printer and laser. There's a little connector here. There's no switch because I consider that unsafe, so you have to physically disconnect and reconnect because that way you know what you're doing. The laser turns on and the caddy will print your device. So this is a all-in-one additive / subtractive manufacturing system. It's being powered, surprisingly enough, by these little solar panels. Now, what we have here is that we are in the shade right now. There is no direct sunlight. Direct sunlight is in that direction, and we can show that later. For now, watch this. This is a modified LM2596 regulator, and you can see here there's all these little panels. Now let me unfold them, and you should see that the little blue light came on there.
Yeah.
Now the little blue light means that the battery is charging. I estimated that this thing is in the sun, you should get about 2.5 hours of printing out of it. Laser cutting, surprisingly, a little bit more because this is a very efficient laser cutter, as it turns out. It's only 2 watts, but it can cut up to 3/16 of an inch of plywood or of, what's it called, not plywood, acrylic. Control is established by using this cheap little tablet. Any Android tablet will do, any Windows tablet will do. We wrote a little USB host driver to run this guy, or you can hook it up to a computer, or you can stick an SD card in. Let me turn the whole thing on. This is the tablet coming on. This takes a few seconds, unfortunately. Tablet is running a very pared down version of Windows. There we go. And that's Windows. Very simplified version of Windows. Now this runs any popular 3D printing software. I am partial to Pronterface because this one is known to work well with both the laser and the printer. So now we connect to the printer. The idea here was to have a self-contained system, to also be able to do design on this thing. The idea is that you pack everything in a box, and that's all you need. No external computers. So we're connected. Let's just zero the printer. Very well. Let's move off a bit. And okay, don't look directly at the beam now because this is in laser mode right now. So this comes down. You take your workpiece, you clamp it on the build plate, and instead of printing, you have a laser cutter. The entire system has been redesigned recently so that you can operate it without glasses. And of course, there's a battery backup. This is a lithium ferrophosphate battery in case people walk in front of the panels. The other thing I wanted to show you is that the reason why we have a tablet here, again, is so that we can actually, in addition to printing, we can do the design. I wanted to have something completely self-contained, so this guy has got its own little CAD software. You can draw a machine here. You can draw a device, you can draw your part or that you need to cut or print, and then you can print it with no external parts. Of course, there's Wi-Fi and there's an SD card if you do want to communicate to something else. The trick is that you don't have to. This is supposed to be self-contained. Again, awesome. These solar panels are very efficient. I've got my own tricky system to operate it. Ideally, they should stay out all the time.
Oh, okay.
They don't have to. You know, if you can also in an emergency, you can also use this to charge your phone.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a redesigned universal USB cable, both host and guest. The point being, again, this is a self-contained unit.
Yes.
It can operate this guy with this kind of sun, so California sun in the summer. It will operate for about 2.5 to 3 hours printing and about 4 hours lasing, which is decent. We've tested these same panels with a different printer in the dead of winter, so the winter solstice, the worst day of the year for solar panels, and we got it to run for about a couple of hours. This printer has been specifically built. This is a Sanguino Lola board that has been modified for high efficiency. And this is the whole design. You can kind of see the caddy here.